Torrential rainfall on Saturday overwhelmed creeks and streams outside the nation's capital, prompting the issuance of a rare flash flood emergency and dozens of water rescues in parts of central Maryland. The National Weather Service issued a series of flood alerts and described the situation as a particularly dangerous event for communities including Bethesda, Takoma Park, Chevy Chase, Silver Spring, and Wheaton. Between 3 and 5 inches of rain fell rapidly over the region, with an additional 1 to 4 inches possible as storms continued to train over the same areas. The intense rainfall rates overwhelmed drainage systems and sent water rushing towards low-lying areas. We had a heck of a storm roll through Montgomery County, particularly the Down County area just north of the District of Columbia. Pete Pieringer, chief spokesperson for Montgomery County, Maryland Fire and Rescue, stated. Emergency management officials warned of significant flash flooding along the Sligo Creek watershed, where water levels rose quickly and several water rescues were reported in Montgomery County. In the initial hours of the event, authorities reported no injuries or missing people connected to the flooding, though they continued to urge residents and visitors to be cautious into the evening. Photos shared by the Maryland National Capital Park Police showed a recreational area completely submerged, with a playground and picnic tables surrounded by muddy water. Rainfall rates as high as 1 to 3 inches per hour were detected by radar, creating dangerous conditions in just a matter of minutes. A river gauge along a nearby creek recorded a dramatic 10-foot rise in water levels in just 30 minutes. For about a 2-hour period between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m., our communications center handled about 100 calls for service. As you know, in a 24-hour period, we handle about 400 calls for the day. So again, an extremely busy period of time, said Pieringer. Flooding was also reported in the District of Columbia, with standing water estimated to be at least 2 feet deep along Georgia Avenue on the northwest side of the city.
Stuck again.
Flash flooding is one of the deadliest weather-related hazards in the United States each year. According to NOAA data, an average of 127 people die from flooding annually, with nearly half of those fatalities involving vehicles swept away by moving water. Experts warn that it takes only 6 inches of fast-moving water to knock an adult off their feet, while just 12 inches of water can disable a vehicle and carry it away.
Oh my God! Dad!
Forecasters said that additional rainfall could worsen flooding along creeks and streams, and urged residents who were out and about to simply to turn around, don't drown. Meteorologist Mike Stiniford said there have been water rescues in Silver Spring and Takoma Park. Montgomery County fire crews have reported a water rescue conducted in Takoma Park, where they found a vehicle stuck in floodwaters with the driver on top of the vehicle. The driver was safely brought to higher ground. There was an emergency vehicle attending with somebody, which caused traffic, Jimmy Alexander reported. Officials said sewers in the area are backed up and not allowing water to drain, so avoid the area. Dave Dildine witnessed 2 women who were briefly trapped in a car that was floating in high water at East-West Highway and Washington Avenue in Silver Spring. It was very scary. It looked like it wasn't that deep, and then when you turned the corner you was in about 5 feet of water, the driver told Dildine. The car began slowly spinning around the flooded intersection, and then the water started turning the car, the driver said. One of the women was pulled from the vehicle by a bystander, while the other was assisted onto higher ground by Montgomery County Fire Rescue Services. Pierce Tewksbury had driven through the torrent of water just minutes earlier. If I had waited another 2 or 3 minutes, my car would have been stuck like theirs, Tewksbury said. He and his brother Stuart ran into the waist-high water to assist the occupants. We saw people were in need of help and I pulled her out of the vehicle, got her over to dry land and waited for the fire department to come, Tewksbury said. If the conditions had gotten worse in those couple of minutes and that car had drifted away, it goes completely underwater, you just don't know what could happen. So I saw a situation and I acted. That's really how I was raised, he said. Sligo Creek Parkway is also closed due to flooding.
Continuing down.
Showers are expected to end by midnight as temperatures fall to the 70s for a cooler night. Sunday will be warm and muggy with temperatures climbing back into the 90s. The heat index will make it feel like it's in the upper 90s.
Yeah, this is really a bad time.
Up to 7 inches of rain fell on the Russell County community of Dante on Friday, injuring 13 people and prompting local authorities to send in swift water rescue teams to help evacuate people. State Senator Todd Pillion and Delegate Israel O'Quinn, both Republican Washington County, toured the community Saturday morning and reported the number of people injured. O'Quinn said some had chest pain, none appeared to be serious. Pillion said an estimated 36 people were rescued overnight. Initial reports were major flooding with people trapped in houses and cars, as well as reports of people in the floodwaters, said a social media post by Castlewood Fire and Rescue. Rescue teams went to work immediately and without hesitation, and thankfully no lives were lost that we are aware of at this time. Rescue teams were on site throughout the night and will be there for as long as they are needed. Russell County has declared a state of emergency. The Russell County Sheriff's Office said Saturday it's setting up a command post at Dante and will provide more information later. Most of the roads through town were passable by late Saturday morning. A donation centers for relief supplies has been set up at the town hall in the nearby town of St. Paul. Cleaning supplies, bottled water, non-perishable food and hygiene products are specifically requested. See accompanying box. The supplies are being distributed at the Dante Community Center, but authorities are discouraging people from traveling there. St. Paul is also opening its community pool for showers. Meals are being provided for those who had to evacuate it at the Dante Community Center at 12:30 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Any prepared meals should be taken to Morning Star Church, 18240 Alt U, S58E, Castlewood. Pillion described the situation on Saturday as one of neighbors helping neighbors. Some people had returned to their homes after evacuating Friday night, but some couldn't immediately return because the water rose about 3 to 4 feet and got inside, O'Quinn said. He said there were about a dozen houses that official thought might qualify for assistance. The Virginia Department of Emergency Management is assessing the damage. Also on the scene, in addition to local agencies, are the state police, the Virginia Department of Transportation, and the Virginia Conservation Police. O'Quinn said Impact Missions, a ministry of the Baptist General Association of Virginia, which has helped with every flooding event in Southwest Virginia, was already setting up. Radar estimates indicate 3 to 7 inches of rain fell in a short time on Friday in a narrow corridor over the flooded areas, which had received multiple rounds of thunderstorms in previous days. Steep ridges and narrow drainage channels focused the runoff into streams that could not handle it and quickly overflowed. Thunderstorms with locally heavy rain have been an almost daily occurrence across Southwest and Southside Virginia since late June, minus a few days around the 4th of July. High pressure over the Atlantic has pumped a steady stream of thick moisture from as far away as the Caribbean over much of the central and eastern U.S., resulting in persistently sticky surface dew points, the measure of atmospheric moisture content from which relative humidity is derived, and unusually high atmospheric precipitable water, how much moisture there is to wring out in the air above very far to the north. Roanoke's swift water rescue team deployed to the region on Friday in anticipation of flooding. Dante, an unincorporated community of about 588, is in the northwestern part of the county, and while most of it is in Russell, some of it extends into Dickinson and Wise counties. Most of the damage appears to be in the Russell County portion of Dante.
रूहे घर लेम्मै डाले छ